Collapse of Silicon Valley Bank is being told as one of the largest collapse of a bank post Lehman Brothers episode in 2008. And Silicon Valley Bank has become the latest casualty of rise in the interest rate in a short span of time. When the Fed was increasing the interest rate in such a short span of time every quarter, and when that happens, it sucks out money from the ecosystem, and there is a disparity between short term and the long term yield, and because of that there are a lot of things which becomes very complicated, and it creates a lot of pressure on small and mid-sized banks. We will discuss about why increasing interest rate causes collapse of banks. That is a discussion for a different day. But I think I'm pained, and I was awake till 4 a.m. last night, and I was reaching out to a lot of startups, and we were talking in terms of the impact which the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank has caused to the startup ecosystem. And this collapse is very different from Lehman Brothers, and I think during the time of Lehman Brothers it was a different reason for the collapse, and there was a different kind of an impact. This time, since Silicon Valley Bank normally banks with startups, and it helps startup ecosystem in the western coast of US and also the tech and the SaaS businesses globally, it is impacting a set of VCs and startup ecosystem, and it is directly impacting our ecosystem where we belong. And I think it's a very sad day, and to my mind the US Fed needs to come up and support and bail out the bank. Not for the bank, not for the reasons. If there are challenges, the bank should, the government should, and the regulators should go deep into it and ensure that people who are responsible for that, they pay, right? But startups, small businesses who have made deposits in the bank, they should be safeguarded, right? I think that's very, very important. I don't know how much it will happen, because the insured amount is only 250K as per the US laws. And in this video, what I would try to do is I will try to list down few action points which you as a startup founder can do if you are impacted by the Silicon Valley Bank collapse. Number one is that you have to communicate to your board, to your investors, to your employees, to your clients that this has happened, and you have to quickly analyze if you had multiple banks account already, and to see that how much impact, the financial impact it had caused to you. And you have to see that you insure the runway for at least 6 months, and to ensure to do that, if there are ways which even the COVID time I had suggested to many of the startup founders. Number one, if you have enterprise clients, talk to them and say that if you can give some discount and they can pay in bulk for 6 months, 1 year contract, and if you give them some discount, because at this point of time what is important is survival. See if your current investors can give you some debt, can give you some loan, for some working capital loan if you are impacted, right? What you should also do is go and file for the insurance under FDIC, right? There is a insurance up to 250K. Do it today without fail. If you are able to click a screenshot or a picture of the total of deposit or the balance which is there in your bank account, do that, because you never know, that may be required in future. The third point which you should do is you should quickly open couple of more bank accounts in US. If you're sitting in India, if you're not in US, there are a couple of links which I can provide wherein you can take help and open those bank accounts. The next point, which is very, very important, is that communicate to your clients, to your investors, if there are some inward remittance which was supposed to come in, talk to them and change the anchor bank quickly. Don't let the amount again get blocked. So change your anchor bank. And the last thing which is very, very important is diversify your portfolio in a sense that if you have some investments, change the anchor bank there itself, I think these are the few things you have to do. In the long run, I think I will come out with a video and a blog in terms of how do you diversify when you operate in global environment. And time and again we are learning from Lehman Brothers in 1980s when one third of the financial institutions got collapsed in US when Paul Volcker increased the interest rate up to 18%. So I think time and again we have been taught that our money is not even safe in bank, and how do we diversify that and do a right treasury management and don't put all our eggs in one bucket, right? So I think don't panic and reach out to me if you think that I can help you in terms of suggesting you an alternative in terms of how you can diversify and deleverage and decrease the risk at which you are playing. Reach out to me if you think I can help you. If you're operating out of India, do reach out to me and see if we can talk and see what we can do. And I know it's easy to say, but don't panic. It's a short-term challenge, and it too will pass. We in the last 3-4 years since March 2020, we have seen COVID, we have seen second wave, reckless printing of money and distributing money in the economy by various central banks, and now they are increasing the rates to counter the recession. So what has happened from 4% interest rate to 0% interest rate to 5% interest rate in a span of 2.5 years. So we are going through a very, very challenging environment, but I think if we survive today and if we look from a motivation point of view for future, that is all what we can do. And as founders, we love to grow in chaos, in problems. And I think I really feel very, very pained in this environment, and I'm ready to help. If someone needs any support, anything in terms of how do we diversify the fund, can we open alternate bank accounts, what should we do, I'm ready to help you. Thanks, and please be there and hang on and